Sir, your mic is muted.
Yes, sir, you are mute.
Good afternoon. Today, we are going to finish the last part of the torsion. That is when the shafts are connected in series and parallel. So that will be the end of the torsion lesson. Okay. Uh,
Sir, what will be the
so
portion for UT2?
UT2, this bending stresses, torsion, both lesson comes under one CO, and one more CO we have to cover, and that will be the very small part. Here, mostly strain energy. Strain energy. In 2 or 3 lectures, we can finish this lesson. Strain energy, just similar to the torsion. Here, for torsion also, this is the third lecture. So, in the strain energy also, we can finish in 3 lectures. Here, very small part. Here, so tomorrow or day after tomorrow or Monday, Tuesday, we can finish. No worry about that. Here,
Okay.
any difficulty? Okay. So, now today we have to study the shafts when the shafts are connected in parallel. Shafts in parallel. Okay. Now when the shafts are connected parallelly to each other, or when the one shaft is overlapped over the another shaft, okay, then such type of arrangement is known as the shaft in parallel. Okay, in first lesson we have studied that when two different materials are connected in parallel, yes, so we have considered it like this, or this is the steel tube, inside that there is a brass rod. Yeah, so these both the attachments are when the materials are connected in parallel. Yeah, but the shaft is a rotational member of a machine. Now, since it is a rotational member, we can't connect it like this. So it is mandatory we have to connect it this way. Okay. So here this is one shaft, and this is the another. This is the another shaft. Here, so one shaft is overlapped over the another lap. No, another shaft. Here, so this type of arrangement is known as the shafts in parallel. Now, when the shafts are connected in parallel, here how the torque is shared, what will be the relation of their angle of twist. Here, such type of shafts are used when a very huge power is required to transmit. Okay. Here, so let's consider suppose this is one inner shaft here, which is the solid shaft, and this is the outer shaft. Okay. Let this is the outer shaft number 1, and this is the inner shaft. These are the two different materials. Here we can say that the shafts are connected in parallel. Okay, so if I show the side view, this is the inner shaft, and this is the outer shaft. Okay. Now, when the shaft is subjected to some twisting moment, here let at this end, the twisting moment or torque applied is T. The similar type of torque is induced here at this end also, or we can apply it like this. Here, two equal opposite torque is applied on that shaft. It is T. Now, when the shafts are connected in series, here this torque which is applied on the shaft, how that torque is shared. Here, so the torque sharing relation. Torque sharing relation. Yes, so in this case, when the shafts are connected in parallel, here the total torque which we have applied here is shared in this two material. Here it is the T1 is the torque shared by the shaft 1 plus T2 is the torque shared by the shaft 2. So when the shafts are connected in parallel, the total torque applied is shared in the two material or two shaft. Here concept is similar what we have studied in the first lesson. Okay, here at that time we have written the load sharing relation. Here it is a torque sharing relation. Yeah, so here the torque sharing relation. This is the first part. First equation when the shafts are connected in series. Here, then in first lesson, if you are remembering, when the materials are connected in parallel or series, here particularly in parallel, we used to write the load sharing relation, and after that we used to write down the strain relation, that is the relation of their deformation. So here also we have to write down the relation of their deformation here, but here the deformation is the angular deformation here. So we can say that it is the relation of the angle of twist here. So what is the relation of angle of twist? Okay. Now since these two shafts are rigidly connected, okay, suppose this is one, this is the position of any point A on the surface of this inner shaft, this is the position B, is the position of any point on the surface of the outer shaft. Let this is the initial position, and because of this twisting moment, it gets twist like this. Clear? So this A shifted to A dash, B shifted to B dash. Clear? Means this angle of twist for the outer shaft as well as for inner shaft, that angle of twist is remain same when the shafts are connected in parallel. Here, so what will be the relation between the angle of twist for this? Okay, so here you can write down the theta1 is equal to theta2. Here for both the shafts, the angle of twist will be same. Okay, ये angle of twist रहेगा. So this angle of twist is remain same for both the shafts for the same length. For this length L, the angle of twist, or you can say that the relative angle of twist is remain same for both the shafts. Clear? So this relation you have to remember when the shafts are connected in parallel. Here, this is the first relation, this is the second relation. Clear? So I am writing it over here. So when the shafts are connected in parallel, shafts in parallel. So when the shafts are in parallel, clear, then the torque is shared. It is T1 plus T2. T1 is the shaft share, sorry, torque shared by the shaft 1. T2 is the torque shared by the shaft 2. Here, see, this is the first relation. And relation of their angle of twist, here it is theta1 equal to theta2 when the shafts are connected in parallel. Second, when the shafts are connected in series, okay, when the shafts are connected in series, shafts in series, two different shafts are there. This is the shaft 1, this is the shaft 2. Yeah. Now, if I apply some torque, okay, so let's consider here we apply the torque T. Yes, so equal amount of torque will be generated over here if suppose this is the end fixed. Where when reactive torque is developed over here, this is the clockwise, so this will be anti-clockwise. Okay. Here, so this is the reactive torque generated, or you can apply the two equal and opposite torque. Here, so here I can consider this AB is the first shaft and BC is the another shaft. We have applied the torque at this free end. Okay, here now when we apply the torque here at the free end, how we can write down the torque relation between this shaft 1 and 2. Here, let this is the shaft 1, this is the shaft 2. Here, so it is the what will be the relation between the torque here. Now it is similar to this. We have studied this when the materials are connected in series, and suppose if it is subjected to some axial force like this. Okay, it is analogous. Only instead of axial force here it is a torque. Okay, here now in this case here if I say these are the material 1 and these are the material 2. Here, so how much is the axial force acting on the material 1? इस पे axial force कितना आएगा? How do we calculate the axial force in any part? So to calculate the axial force in any part, we use one imaginary section and take the algebraic summation of the axial forces on any one side to get the axial force in the part 1. Exactly similar thing you have to do it here also. Here, so how much is the torque acting on the part AB? Here, torque on shaft AB. Here, so how much is the torque on the shaft AB? So to calculate the torque in the shaft AB, let's consider an imaginary section of this part AB and take the algebraic summation of all the torque on any one side. Here, for that you can decide the direction. If I look at from this side, let's assume the clockwise torque is negative, anti-clockwise is positive. Okay, to take the algebraic summation. Okay, so for AB, the torque applied is T, and for the BC, how much is the torque applied? To take that, to find out that, take the imaginary section of the BC and take the algebraic summation of any one side. So that is also T. So when the shafts are connected in series, in such cases, here for this one, there may be the 3 shafts also. Here, so you have to find out the torque in each part by using such type of relation. Here, taking one algebraic summation, sorry, taking one imaginary section and taking the algebraic summation of all the torque on any one side. Understood? Here, so it is TAB equal to T, TBC equal to T. This is the torque on the shaft AB, and this is the torque in the shaft AB and BC. Okay, do you remember this?
Yes, sir.
It
Yes,
is
sir.
analogous what we have studied in the first lesson. Okay, here only in the first lesson we solved it for the axial forces. Now we have to solve it for the torque. Okay, so this is the torque. Okay, now just to answer my question, if I apply this torque at this point B, if I apply the torque on the part on this at junction of these 2 parts at point B. So in this case, how much is the torque acting on the part AB? So to find out the torque in the part AB, take the imaginary section and take the algebraic summation of all the torque in any one side. So on any one side, there is the only torque T. But what will be the torque in the part BC now? If I apply the torque at this point, what will be the torque in the part BC?
0.
It is 0, correct. It is 0. Because if I take the imaginary section, on the right side of that section, there is no torque. So the torque in the part BC is 0. Here, if you are remembering, we have solved one such type of question. Here, in first lesson, axial forces, there was a gap of some 3 millimeter or 0.3 millimeter, and 7 kilonewton force is applied here. So initially, जब तक ये gap है, तब तक क्या होगा? This 7 kilonewton load is applied only on this part AB. Here, जब तक ये gap है, तब तक ये BC part पे कोई भी axial force आएगा ही नहीं. Here, because of this 7 kilonewton, only AB will get elongated and BC will just get shifted. Here, there won't be any load on the part BC because of this gap. Here, exactly similar to this. Here, so there won't be any torque in the part BC if the torque is applied at the intermediate point B. Here, so to find out when the shafts are connected in series, to find out the torque in each part, just you have to take the imaginary section through that part and take the algebraic summation of the torque on any one side. Okay. Now, next one is the relation of the angle of twist. Yeah, so I am applying this torque here only. Okay, so relation of the angle of twist. Okay, now this aid is fixed. Here, if I draw one line on the surface of this surface shaft, here, so because of this torque T acting on this part AB, here this will get shifted like this. This layer, okay, this line which is drawn on the surface, here because of this twisting moment, it will get shifted like this. Here, so this will be the angle of twist for this AB. Okay, I am drawing it here. Let's consider this is A, this intermediate point is B, and this is C. This is the initial position. Because of the twisting moment, this end is like assume fixed. Okay, here, and this will get shifted or it will get turned like this. Okay, so for this AB, the angle of twist is this. Let's denote it as a theta AB. This is the angle of twist over this length AB. Okay, then what will be the angle of twist for BC? So for angle of twist for the BC is this. This is the angle of twist for the BC. It is a relative angle of twist, but this is the angle of twist for BC for this much length. This is the angle of twist for this length AB. Understood? Lengths are different. Okay, here then what will be the total angle of twist? Here, so total angle of twist will be theta AB plus theta BC. This is the total angle of twist over the length AC. So what is the relation between the angle of twist? Here, so this theta AB plus theta BC is equal to the total angle of twist theta. Okay, the total angle of twist theta at this free end. Here it is the relative angle of twist over the part AB plus relative angle of twist over the part BC. Okay, which gives you the total angle of twist. Okay, little bit difficult to understand here, but this theta AB is the relative angle of twist for the part AB only. Here, and theta BC is the relative angle of twist for the part BC. Okay, because B point is already shifted from this to this. So over this length, how much is the angle of twist? So this is theta BC. And how much is the total angle of twist? Total angle of twist is theta AB plus theta BC. This is the angle of twist at this free end. Okay, so when the shafts are in series, the angle of twist equal to theta AB plus theta BC equal to theta. Okay, here, so this is the relation for when the shafts are connected in series. Here, so for series, here torque relation for this one you can write down TAB equal to T, TBC equal to T. For this actually there is no any such formula. Here I can't write it as a TAB equal to TBC because if the application is different, relation will be different. Okay, here and the theta relation is theta AB plus theta BC equal to theta. This is the total angle of twist. Theta AB is the relative angle of twist for the part AB and theta BC is the relative angle of twist for the part BC. So total angle of twist is this plus this. Just similar to the relation of their deformation. If delta L1, because of the axial force, if delta L1 is the deformation of the part AB and delta L2 is the deformation of the part BC, so how much is the total deformation? Delta L1 plus delta L2. Okay, only there was a axial force and here it is a torque. Okay, now we'll solve one sum on the shaft in series and one sum on shaft in parallel. Okay, sum number 8 from a question that what is given in sum number 8? A composite shaft consists of steel rod of 60 mm in diameter enclosed within a brass tube closely fitting over the steel rod. Okay, so brass tube is closely fitted over the steel rod. Here means one shaft is overlapped on the other shaft. Okay, this connection is the shafts in parallel. Okay, I am drawing the figure. This is one rod. Here and over this rod, here there is another tube. A compound shaft consists of the steel rod and the brass tube. This is the steel rod which is enclosed inside the brass tube. So this is the brass tube which is shown by the yellow chalk. So this is the brass and this is the steel. Okay, dimensions are given. For the steel rod, diameter is 60 mm. Fine. For the brass tube, the external diameter is not given. This is not given. External diameter is not given. So let it is D suffix B. Diameter of the brass tube. Find the external diameter of the brass tube. Then a torque of 100 kilonewton centimeter is applied. When the torque of 100 kilonewton centimeter is applied in composite section and is shared by the materials. Here, how much is the total torque applied? The total torque applied is 100 kilonewton centimeter. Let's convert it into Newton millimeter. Here, so it is 100 into 10 raised to 3 kilonewton to Newton. Here from centimeter to millimeter into 10. Here, so which is equal to, it is 100 into 10 raised to 4 Newton millimeter. Okay, this much torque is applied to this shaft. This is the torque. Okay, Now, in the question, this much torque is applied on this composite shaft. You have to find out the diameter of the brass tube such that out of this total torque applied, if the steel takes 40% of the torque and remaining is shared by the brass. Here, abhi humne, when the shafts are connected in parallel, we have written the relation T equal to T1 plus T2. Here, now here, out of this total torque, the torque shared by the steel is given. The torque shared by the steel is 40% of the total. Steel takes 40% of the torque. Yes, so the torque shared by the steel is 40% of this total torque. This which is equal to 0.4 times T. Yes, so how much is this? 0.4 into 100. It is 40 into 10 raised to 4 Newton millimeter. And remaining torque is shared by the brass. Means brass shares the 60%. Means it is 60 into 10 raised to 4 Newton millimeter. Isn't it? Yes, so this plus this equal to this. The total load shared by the shaft is 100. Out of that, 40% is shared by the steel and 60% is shared by the brass. So from that one, we have calculated how much is the torque shared by the steel and the brass. Now, what is given? The shear modulus of the steel. The shear modulus of the steel. Modulus of rigidity. Shear modulus means modulus of rigidity. The modulus of rigidity for the steel is 0.8 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per millimeter square. And that for the brass, it is 0.4 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per millimeter square. Here, so this is the data which is given. From that one, you have to calculate the diameter of the brass. Also determine the common angle of twist in a length of 5 meter. If this length is 5 meter, calculate the common angle of twist, because when the shafts are connected in parallel, the angle of twist is same for both the shafts. So you have to calculate how much is the common angle of twist. So how much is the theta B, which is equal to theta S, ये calculate करने का है. Both are same. Okay, clear? So we know the torque shared by the steel and the brass here. So we have already used this. So let's use the second relation. So we know that when the shafts are connected in series, then the angle of twist in the brass is equal to the angle of twist in the steel over the length of 5 meter. Okay, इसका value भी हम लोगों को calculate करने का है. But initially we can write down this relation. Yes. Now we know the torque, we know the modulus of rigidity, and this is the relation between the torque and the angle of twist. Here, so from this relation, I can write down the angle of twist. So this angle of twist equal to T into L upon J into G. Here, so here I am writing it. It is T into L this upon J into G. This is for the brass, which is equal to T into L upon J into G. This is for the steel. Now, since these shafts are connected in parallel and both the shafts are having the same length, so this L will get cancelled. Now, the torque shared by the brass is known to you. It is 60 into 10 raised to 4 upon how much is the J for the brass. Now, brass is the outer shaft, which is the hollow circular tube, here for which the polar moment of inertia is pi by 32 into, in bracket, external diameter raised to power 4 minus small d raised to power 4. This is J, pi by 32 into d raised to power 4 minus d raised to power 4, and we have to calculate this d. Into G, G for the brass, it is 0.4 into 10 raised to 5. Okay, this is all the data which I have written for the brass, which is equal to for the steel. Now, load share by the steel is 40 into 10 raised to 4 upon polar moment of inertia for the steel. Now, steel is a solid circular rod for which the polar moment of inertia is pi by 32 into its diameter raised to power 4, that is 60 raised to power 4. Here into G, G for the steel, it is 0.8 into 10 raised to 5. Okay, here this 10 to the power 4, 10 to the power get cancelled, pi by 32 get cancelled, this 10 to the power 5, 10 to the power 5 get cancelled. Simplify this, you will get the diameter of the brass tube. Okay, Here, if this is the diameter of the brass tube, then only the 40% load is torque is shared by the steel and 60% torque is shared by the brass. Here, if this relation changes, diameter will also change. If the diameter change, this relation will also change. Okay, so from this one you get the diameter of the brass. And once you get the diameter of the brass, then the common angle of twist, here theta, which is equal to theta S, which is equal to theta B. You can use any one. If I use theta S, the relation is T into L upon J into G, steel. Just substitute the value. Now everything is known to you. Just substitute the value. Here, this value, you will get the common angle of twist in radian. This will be the angle of twist. Here, यहाँ पे L cancel हुआ था, यहाँ पे L cancel नहीं होगा. This length is given 5 meter. Substitute that 5 meter length, you will get the angle of twist in radian. Understood this? Any doubt? Calculate and tell me how much is the common angle of twist. Theta कितना आता है? Here I use it for the steel. You can use it for the brass also. But the brass is the hollow circular tube for which the J formula is a little bit difficult than this. That's why I use it for the steel, which is a solid circular one. Tell me the answer, how much is the common angle of twist? How much is the theta, sorry, diameter?
Sir, 84.85.
Okay. .85 diameter. It is the correct answer. And how much is the angle of twist, Sahil? Calculate the angle of twist. Initially, you will get it in radians, and if required, you can convert it into degree also. How much is the angle of twist? Substitute the value and tell me the answer. Why this much time is required? Okay, I'll proceed for the next sum. To solve it yourself and find out the answer. Okay, shaft in series. Sum number 10. Try to solve the sum number 9 for homework. Sum number 10. A solid circular shaft ABC is fixed at end A and free at end C. The length AB is L and BC is L by 3. The diameter of AB and BC are 90 and 50 millimeter. Here, so this is the AB shaft whose diameter is 90, and this is the BC shaft whose diameter is 50. It is fixed at one end at point A and free at C. Okay, the length AB is L The length AB is equal to L and BC is L by 3. This BC is L by 3. The diameters of AB and BC are 90 and 50 mm respectively. The shaft is subjected to 2.1 kilonewton meter torque at B. Here at intermediate point, the torque applied is 2.1 kilonewton meter and 0.7 at C. Okay. Determine the length of the shaft AB and BC if the total angle of twist between A and C is 3 degrees. The total angle of twist over the length of this AB plus BC over the length of AC. Here the total angle of twist is given as 3 degrees, which is equal to 3 into pi by 180 radians. Here pi by 60 radians. Okay. If the total angle of twist is 3 degrees, also determine the stresses induced in the shaft AB and BC. Take G equal to 84 into 10 raised to 3. You have to calculate the stresses. Here, कौन से stresses induce होंगे इसमें? Tensile होंगे या compressive होंगे? Which type of stresses will induce in the shaft AB and BC? Unmute and tell me. कौन से स्ट्रेसेस इंड्यूस होंगे AB और BC में? In the question it is asked to calculate the stresses. So tell me which type of stresses will induce in the AB and BC. Type of stresses. I'm not asking you the answer. I'm asking you just the type of stress. Which type of stress will induce in the AB and BC? Nobody knows which type of stresses are induced because of the torsion.
Shear stress.
Then why this much time is required? From very first lecture, I am telling you, if when our part is subjected to the twisting moment, the shear stresses are induced. Here, so here we have to calculate what will be the shear stresses in the part AB and in the part BC. Okay. So you have to calculate that stresses as well as the length of the shaft AB and BC. So you have to calculate the L as well as these stresses you have to calculate. Okay. Now these shafts are connected in series. Now for the when the shafts are connected in series, let's calculate the torque in each part. Here. So I'm writing for part AB. Okay. Now one torque is acting at point B, whose magnitude is 2.1 kilonewton meter, and another torque is acting at point C, which is 0.7 kilonewton meter. Okay. So can you tell me, because of this applied torque, here what will be the total torque acting in the part AB? What will be the torque in the part AB? Can you tell me how much is this? AB पे कितना torque रहेगा? I told you that how to calculate the torque in each part when the shafts are in series. How much? 2.8. Here, so you have to consider one imaginary section and take the algebraic summation of torque. So it is 2.8 kilonewton meter, which is equal to 2.8 into 10 raised to 6 Newton millimeter. And how much is the torque in the part BC? Take the imaginary section and take the algebraic summation of all torque on any one side. So ये side में 0.7 है, 0.7 kilonewton meter. Here you may say that sir left side में तो 2.1 है, वो 2.1 नहीं है. यहाँ पे एक reactive torque generate होगा, whose intensity will be 2.8, magnitude will be 2.8. So this 2.1 minus 2.8 minus 2.1. So you will get 0.7 only. So it is 0.7 kilonewton meter, which is equal to 0.7 into 10 raised to 6 Newton millimeter. These are the torques in the part AB and BC. Okay. Now the total angle of twist is given. So we know that when the shafts are connected in series, here the angle of twist in the part AB plus angle of twist in the part BC equal to the total angle of twist theta, which is given as 3 degrees. Now the angle of twist in the part AB can be written as torque in the part AB into length upon J into G. Okay, this is the angle of twist in the part AB plus angle of twist in the part BC. It is T into L upon J into G for the part BC equal to theta, which is equal to 3 degree, that is pi by 60 radians. Okay, now you know the torque in the part AB, the length of the part AB is L, J you can write down because its diameter is given, G which is also given. How much is that G? G is 84 into 10 raised to 3. G is 84 into 10 raised to 3. Both parts are made of the same material, so G is remains same. So G is known to you, substitute that all the values, only one unknown, and that is L. You will get this L. That is the length of the shaft. Okay, then to calculate the shear stress in the part AB. Now to calculate the shear stress in the part AB, we can write down for AB, it is T upon J equal to tau upon R. Here now for AB, you know the T, you know the J, you know its radius. Here you will get the shear stress in the part AB. Same thing for BC. Same formula. It is T upon J equal to tau upon R. Substitute the value and get the answer. You will get the shear stress induced in each part for AB and BC. Any doubt? Calculate this. And by today evening or today night, you have to submit the class notebook of SFD BMD, here bending stresses, and torsion. 3 lessons class notebook you have to submit. Okay, I will generate the link on your Google Classroom and you have to submit the class notebook on this. Here write your roll number on each page or maximum pages. Okay, now this is enough for the day. Here our torsion lesson is over. Here do the practice, and for any doubt you can WhatsApp me. Okay, write down your name and roll number in 2 minutes and then we'll end. Any doubt before wind up? Do you have any doubt?
Sir, can we give the notebook tomorrow morning?
Okay, give it tomorrow morning, no problem.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.